here from sunny Florida. I'm back from vacation, back to work yesterday. Today, my first day in the office, so I was not very happy to go back to work. But today, I decided to go chat with my viewers about traveling to Europe and give you some tips if you're traveling from the United States. I'm so impressed with Italy. I'm so impressed with Sicily. That was my first time to travel to Italy. And I haven't been in Europe that much since I left my home country, Moldova. I left Moldova in 2006. Moldova is a small country in Eastern Europe. If you're first time on my channel, welcome, welcome. I'm Kate B. I'm an immigrant. I live in the United States, state of Florida, Central Florida, Orlando area, but originally I'm from Republic of Moldova. I grew up in Soviet Union. I speak Russian language. I speak a little bit of Romanian, so I can understand Italian. And I was so excited to go to Europe. Last year I went to Germany, Berlin to visit my sister, and this year we arranged to meet with my sister in Sicily. So part of this trip was because I watched this movie, like, why did I pick Sicily? I need to explain you, and I wanted to share my travel tips, and I wanted to share my impressions because I haven't been traveling a lot since I came to the United States in 2006. I've been traveling locally. I've been traveling to Bahamas. I've been traveling to California. I've been traveling to Arizona, like different states within the United States. But my big trip this year was to Italy. And I needed to share with you my mistakes, my flops, and to tell you how I feel. And I know for many of you, my problems would sound like first world problems compared to what's going on in the world and blah, blah, blah. But that's life, and I have to be honest. That's my channel. I want to share my honest opinion about travel and about my experiences. And that's why I'm here. It's my channel. So I'm free to talk about things that bothered me, that really made me upset, and things that I really like the most. But, you know, at the end of the day, I can forgive everything that I didn't like. I can forgive it, and I can go back to Italy in a heartbeat because the views, Sicily was gorgeous, the weather was very hot, but I need to share with you my honest opinions, what were the mistakes and stuff like that. Opinion on Finland. Welcome, welcome. I have 5 years. So I'm Kate B. I came from Moldova. It's a small country in Eastern Europe. I came here when I was 27. Hi, which was your last travel destination? It was Sicily. Life is beautiful. Welcome to my live stream. Alice Laveri. Oi. So I traveled to Bahamas on the cruise ships, most like in the past 13 years. I traveled probably 20 times to Bahamas. I traveled to Mexico. I traveled to Honduras, like the Caribbean countries, but I didn't go as far as Europe. So I went last year to visit my sister in Berlin, Germany. I love Berlin. I love Berlin. I love Berlin. I love my travel. I traveled the reliable airline, Lufthansa. I took a business trip, business class trip on the way back. So all my dreams came true in that trip, and I spent my birthday week with my sister. I haven't seen my sister in 9 years. But this year I wanted to meet with my sister again in Europe, and I told my sister, let's go see some places. So I told my sister who lives in Berlin, Germany, I told her, let's meet in Sicily. For her, it's an easy 2-hour flight from Germany to Sicily, and for me, it's a 24-hour travel. So I had some criteria I wanted from the beginning of the trip. I wanted to have a nice apartment. Like, for me, it was important to have a nice apartment that all my family have their own bedroom. We don't need to share bathrooms. So I picked a beautiful apartment on Airbnb. It was 3-bedroom apartment with a huge terrace overlooking the sea and overlooking the volcano Etna. So I was so excited. Give me a shout out. Julie, shout out. Harishina Ramala, welcome to my live stream. 17 people. We're talking about my traveling. I just came back, and my impressions are still fresh, and I wanted to share with my viewers. I wanted to share on my channel all I learned through traveling. Hill Madam from India. Welcome, Mr. Sola. Kathy Clark. Hi, welcome. I'm Kate. You're welcome to my channel. I'm Kate B. I live in Florida. What is the like you? said hi. Samir, welcome. Welcome. Hi, so many girls. Sad girl, don't be sad. So it was important for me to rent a nice apartment. The hotels I like and I would prefer like Four Seasons. And why did I go to that particular place? Why did I go to Sicily? Why did I pick that particular town of Taormina? Okay, last year, like, do you know this HBO series that's called A White Lotus, about rich, pretentious people like going to very fancy resorts? So I watched this series. Where are you from, ma'am? Kate, bonjour, welcome. Roland, Jacob, welcome. I remember you, Roland. So, seems Russia. I'm from Moldova, but I do speak Russian. My first language is Russian. You're right, but now I live in the States. I live in Florida, Central Florida, not far from Orlando. Seems Russia. Ali Reza, welcome. So we're talking about Sicily. So why Sicily? Watch this movie, White Lotus. My name is Sarah. Welcome, Sarah, sad girl. So, and all these views, I didn't like first season as much, but the second season, it killed me. Like the views of Sicily, I looked it up where the movie was filmed and I learned about little town Taormina on east coast of Sicily. I'm like, I'm going there. And first time in my life, I experienced something like I told my sister, let's meet in Europe. And first time in my life, like my kids are a little bit growing and I have a little more freedom with my time, with my vacation time. I've been working in one place for 10 years and I have very, very good boss who can give me vacation like anytime I want, I need. And, you know, all the stars have to fall together for me to book the travel I'm at that stage of life that finally I'm free to point any place probably on the globe and just decide to go there. So when I watched that movie, I really, really loved the views. But when I looked up the hotel they were filming the movie, the hotel price, you want Bangalore? Now I'm living in Bangalore. I doing work with Tommy brand buyers. Oh, good for you, Mr. Solid Traveler. Good for you, my own. Oh, my own. I need help. Hi, I'm from Ross in Manchester, England. Oh, Ross, welcome. It's very late in England, so you're not asleep. Thank you for being on my live stream. Anyways, I'm a videographer, 28 years old, working hard from last 10 years as artist. I have loan of 25K and lost 5K hard work money on gambling in the last 3 months. I need your help. I'm sorry, gambling is bad. Is as bad as any other addiction. So I'm sorry for your loss, but you gotta make up those money. Thank you for stopping by on my live stream. So anyways, I pointed and I said, I want to go to Sicily. And we have best friends who are Italians, who are Sicilians, and their parents constantly go there. Like the lady friend, her parents constantly go to Sicily. And her husband, our friend, his parents still live in Sicily. We got to meet them. He goes to Sicily often, and they always talk about how food is nice and how nice is, you know, is there, like in general. So, and I told my sister, where you want to go? And she said, somewhere we haven't been before. So I said, how about Sicily? And she was excited about adventure. My sister, she's in her early 60s. I always forget how old is she. In my book, she's like 61, 62. She may be like a little, like few years older than I say. But anyways, my sister I love so much. She's 16 years older than me. So I didn't get to know her when I was growing up because I was a child and she left the house early. But now we caught up. Like since I had my daughters and she came to visit to States, we kind of like as adults, we caught up on our sisterhood. And I was so excited to plan something with her. And I said, you taking time off, I'm taking time off, and we're meeting in Europe, we're meeting in Sicily. So we planned the trip and I wanted to make sure, you know, all pieces fall together. Like I asked for my vacation early, like early May. I asked if I may take vacation, and this time of year is getting slow because we closed the fiscal year, and like my work, where I work in the library where I buy books, we close the fiscal year, so things are slowing down in end of June, like beginning of July. So my boss said, yeah, sure, go take a week. But the problem is like, maybe you need GoFundMe to support your gambling. No, that's a bad idea. Some brand garments like Tommy, Gap, Uniqlo, Walmart, Adidas. Good for you. Those are really good brand names. I hope you make good money. Alfonso, welcome. Travis Bolton, turn on tab and hop in. Oh, my tab? You love my beautiful tab? No, you need to go to OnlyFans. They probably do that for you. Not on this channel. No, I'm not gonna hop in the tab. Too old for that crap. So anyways, and I told my husband, that's such a wonderful feeling when all pieces fall through, like you have enough savings, enough money to go, you're free. I only took my older kid because my little kid, she was afraid of flying that long. The flight is 9.5 hours. And she said, no, Mom, not this time. My daughter is 11, my older daughter is 16. So my older daughter was like all up for it to go to Europe. It's her first big trip and it's far away. So we were all so hyped and excited. So in May, like in the beginning of May, I booked my tickets. I found this beautiful apartment on Airbnb and I do my homework. You know, I read the reviews, I watch a lot of videos, but you know, until you experience it yourself, you don't learn until you make your own mistakes. And today I'm sharing with you all my mistakes and what I learned about traveling to Europe. So I came here when first time I came to the United States when I was 27, and I traveled across the ocean from Europe to America. But I was so excited to come here that at 27, I didn't care about the travel. You know, I didn't even own a suitcase back then. Like imagine I was 27, we were so poor in Moldova. I was coming here to be a nanny and I didn't even own a nice suitcase. So somebody passed me down that suitcase that didn't have a good handle and the wheels, like they were only on this one side of and that suitcase was so heavy and so uncomfortable to handle around the airports, but I didn't care. I was 27. Hello, Kate, Zlata, welcome to my live stream. It's probably like early morning or like late night. I don't know. Yeah, probably you're going to bed in New Zealand. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. So back at 27, you're traveling, you don't worry about like connections, you don't worry about travel, you're just so excited to go explore. I was so excited to go to the United States. I didn't even own a suitcase. Somebody passed me down an old suitcase and I didn't care how that suitcase looked. This time when I'm 48, I'm buying a brand new suitcase. I make sure I buy something like modern and light and I can walk around like easily. So it's a totally different from traveling young and traveling your age. Like if you I'm 48, I want to be comfortable. I'm an old lady and I make sure I'm going to be comfortable traveling. There is no high heels, you know, like we saw probably a model flying from whatever, Rome back to States, and she was wearing heels on the flight and I'm like, dude, you know, dude, you know, I wanted to be comfortable. So, you know, I planned my vacation about shorter connections, not long travel time. First mistake, I decided to travel from Miami airport. I don't know why. I wanted to save a couple $100 because I found this very good flight with ITA Airlines, Italian Airways, whatever, ITA Airlines. And I thought, well, when you get on a plane, you get these people speaking Italian, right? And you're going to get into that mood and vibe. So I was very, very excited to fly ITA. But the ITA was flying from Miami and the connections were very short. And they were like what I thought is when you fly with the same airline, they rebook you. There is no problem to change the ticket. And flights from Rome to Catania are every hour. So I kind of thought if something happens, if it's a short connection, they will be able to put me on the next flight, something like that. What differences that immediately popped out in Europe compared to States? Okay, life is beautiful. Great question. The first difference is not good customer service. They don't care. They don't like you. They don't care about you spending money. It's just not the customer service you can get here in the States. That's the first difference. That's the first contrast. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at the airport. Nobody cares on the airplane. Like people are like, whatever. You get what you get for your buck. Chill out. If you don't want that service, go to business class and pay $5,000. But since we were like in the regular economy class, we got good seats on the way there. Very good seats at the very beginning of the plane. And, you know, they served us kind of first when they were serving food. The food was amazing on the plane. So I liked ITA Airways. But traveling from Miami sucks. You know, we wanted to try this Bright Line train. We have this new train that comes from the fancy new Brand Terminal Airport. But you would think that it goes to Miami directly to the airport. No, it doesn't go directly to the airport. It goes to the train station. So from the train station, you have to take a shuttle. So check this out. The train was like $69 one way. So it adds up. Instead of saving $300 on the ticket, fly from freaking your town. I don't know what I was thinking about, but I didn't like the train ride. It took another 5 hours of travel. I would get there to Italy. The fastest I could get from here to Sicily, to Catania airport, would be 18 hours. It took us exactly 24 hours from my door to travel to Catania airport. And then the adventure started. Then everything like started to fall a little bit apart because of crazy rental car services and like bad customer service and all this hassle after traveling 24 hours. You couldn't sleep on the plane, you're exhausted. So like, but let me start with the train. Okay, so train wasn't a bad idea. It's pretty boring, but you know, like by the time you get on the train, you buy lunch, you buy water, so you're spending money. You would be already flying from Orlando if I find a good connection. If I would fly, like the best airline is to fly is Lufthansa. Lufthansa makes more sense to me. I flew Lufthansa last year. But anyway, so that was a mistake, but it's okay. The train ride was okay. I did my live stream with another blogger and I kind of killed the time. It was 3 hours. We bought some food, we had nice views, but we made it. And because you go in there, you're so excited and you don't care about this train ride. You're going somewhere. It's already a part of your trip. It's already a part of your excitement. But when you're coming back, you're so beaten up after European flight back, like it's at 9.5 hours back. And you don't want to go on the train and sit another 3 hours. So forget about the train. So pay extra 300, 400 for your flight. It doesn't care. At the end of the day, you say, forget about this money. You deserve to treat yourself, but don't take the freaking train and try to go, because on the train, okay, the second thing, don't pack a lot, pack light, because eventually, like our apartment was on the 3rd floor. And I'm not an old woman, I'm not disabled, but you know, like if you have those huge suitcases, you don't need much for a week of vacation. You don't need much for 5 days. And if you don't have anything, you can always buy, because it's a lot of stores with anything you wish for. Linen, like I bought these 2 linen dresses just because, you know, my friends said, oh, everybody's so stylish there and it's so hot, people wear linen, blah, blah, blah. So I went and I spent $300 on 2 linen dresses. Guess what? I would buy those linen dresses in Italy way cheaper, and it was probably like, but I wanted to bring my own stuff, to bring my own style. So I bought this dress and I felt so good because this color was so pretty on the pictures. And today my makeup is inspired by Italian sunshine because I got some tan. And, you know, I always like cold colors on my face when it's inspired because my sister got me the foundation. So I'll tell you about a little bit of makeup because I did put a lot of makeup. So, and look at the colors. This is like exactly the colors of Italy. Like that's the vibe, the warm colors, the earth colors, whatever, peach colors. And my makeup today was inspired by Italian architecture, by Italian colors and whatever I saw in Sicily. And this is the eyeshadow. I use this eyeshadow, like it's like peach pink. So anyways, I'm so excited. The thing I've seen, my brain cannot like process it all because I still have this excitement. I close my eyes and I see those beautiful views. Happy birthday, Cody. Welcome, Cody. Happy birthday, who you are. Hello, engineer. Hello, engineer Annie's vlogs. Hello, welcome. Where are you from? Huram Min Queen. I live in the United States, Orlando area, state of Florida, but originally I'm from Moldova, Republic of Moldova. It's a small country in southeast of Europe. I have 7 viewers and 7 likes. Thank you so much. Give me likes, give me more likes. So I'm telling you more. So forget about the train. We were so excited. When we came to Catania, I love your accent. Elias Knudsen, thank you for your kind comment. I speak Russian, but I've been in the States since 2000. Came here as a nanny in 2003. Then I went back home in 2004. Then I came back a couple of times. Then I worked for American Embassy. Then I came here to be a college student. Then I settled. So I've been in the United States pretty much 19 years now. And I went to school here. And I work, so I try to speak fluent English, but I still have accent. I still have some wrong grammar, but who cares? I feel great. I understand people. I think I have good vocabulary, so who cares about the accent? But thank you for a kind comment. We're all different here and we embrace our differences. I hope you can hear me well. Anyway, so on the way back, don't worry. You're going to be so excited that you don't care. Like, I love the food, like Ita Airways. The food was great. They give you a little bit of wine if you want. Do you like big black clocks? Big black clocks? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Thank you for your question, though. Thank you for coming to the live stream. So on the way there, you're so excited. It's a part of your trip. Everything, the food, the service, the accent doesn't matter. I think it's beautiful, and you speak amazing English. Thank you, Elias. Thank you. I appreciate your compliment. So we go there. It's a part of excitement. But you know, on the plane you can't sleep. You know, unless you travel in business class where you have this, you know, like whole bed to yourself. But here you cannot really sleep. So you're flying late, and we didn't like Miami airport because it didn't have nice restaurant. We wanted to have like a little snack or something before we go on the plane because we didn't know when they're gonna feed us dinner. So we wanted to have some dinner, and we ate some crappy food at the airport. How are you? I'm all right. I just came back from vacation. I'm all excited and hyped, so I'm sharing my hype with you. Good morning. Welcome, Raja Sekra. I can't read. I'm her biggest fan. Ghost. Thank you, Ghost. So you go in there, you're so excited, but mistake number one, don't eat crappy food at the airport. They're gonna feed you on the plane. The food is there, is heated. The food is there, like checked. You know, nobody gonna get sick from airplane food. Hopefully. But me and my daughter, we made this huge mistake. We ate some crappy nachos at Miami airport because Miami airport, the terminal, we were like, never again. I'm not gonna fly through Miami. Never again. The food, the restaurants are so crappy at that terminal that we were so annoyed. But we ate those. Ma'am, you're looking so cute, and you're talking also very nice and voice. Bye, ma'am. I have to go work. Okay, have a good day. Bye. Where are you from? Originally, I'm from Eastern Europe. I'm Russian. I speak Russian. I'm from Moldova, but I live in the United States, so I'm American now. Yeah, originally I'm like a lot of different mixture of bloods, Eastern European bloods, but I'm American by where I live now. So, and you're so excited, and I'm like, damn, like me and Zoe, my daughter Zoe, we had such a rough time, like with all this bloating and stuff, because we ate those stupid nachos, and you know, it wasn't very comfortable to sleep on the plane, but forget it, we were so excited. So, mistake number one, don't take the train, just fly from the city you live, like take an extra connection. The plane is still gonna take less hours than traveling by train or bus or whatever, or car, you know. So take the plane from the city you live. Mistake number one. Mistake number two, money. You know, if you want to have euro, we have dollars, and euro is a little more expensive than a dollar. Let's say it's about 1.18 at the moment. $1.18 you pay for 1 euro, and that's a decent exchange rate, you know. So mistake number two, never exchange the money at the airport. This is the biggest scam, and I should have known better. I knew that, exactly. My husband pointed that out, but I was so desperate to have my own euros. My sister's coming from Germany. She said, I have a pile of euros. I have a pile of cash. You don't worry about anything. As soon as we meet at the airport in Catania, we'll have this bunch of cash. Don't worry about the cash. But I am full of freaking pride. So what Kate does, she needs her own cash. So she goes in the Rome airport, and we have very short connection. We need to find our gate. They don't, like, Ita Airways don't announce their gate far in advance. You have to go, and after you get off one flight, you have to change terminal, but you have to keep up and look at the screens to find your gate. So it's a little bit annoying. They didn't announce the gate right away. Russians are beautiful. Thank you, unknown. Yeah, we're beautiful and smart, and we make good immigrants too. Wherever we go, we bring our good qualities of hardworking people, and we bring our culture. We raise our kids with a lot of good things and traditions. Thank you. So, mistake number 2, don't exchange your money at the airport. These are big scammers. So it's instead of YNT, like later my husband told me that I could order some euros in my bank. If I just go to my bank and say I need like 300 euros, they're gonna get ready for me like those 300 euros and use their normal exchange rate, whatever it is, like normal average exchange rate. They're not gonna rip me off in my own bank. I want you talk to me. Ghost, thank you for a little black heart. Yes, I will talk to you. Thank you for being my devoted viewer. Welcome to my live stream. So mistake number 2, go to your bank and get your currency, get the foreign currency. Ask for the foreign currency. Take a couple of days for the bank to get this currency, to get this currency ready for you, and you're gonna get a decent average exchange rate. At the airport, they charge, okay, it says on the screen, it says the exchange rate is 1.31. Already it's 1% from your dollar that goes towards buying euro. It's already expensive. The exchange rate is already ripping you off. 1.31 for 1 euro. But on top of that, they freaking charge you 1% for a transaction. So whatever you exchange, let's say I exchanged $150. The jerks gave me 89 whatever euros, you know, like, so at the end of the transaction, 1 euro was costing me $1.51. Check this out, 50%. That's such a rip-off, and I was so mad. It's like back in the day when I lived in Moldova. I don't understand the obsession of having a lot of cash. If staying for over a week, 100 euros should be enough. Life is beautiful. Yeah, you might be right, because everywhere you pay with a credit card, but in the small towns, for the small souvenir shops, they prefer you pay in cash, because this way they kind of maybe get away with, I don't know, with tax, or maybe they get away with whatever. So you kind of want to help local businesses if you have cash on you. And I just feel safer with the cash if I have to pay a toll road, if I have to pay a little tip. I just love cash, yeah. So they ripped me up at the airport. And you know, because I'm tired and cranky, I'm in Rome, I'm excited to see all these boutiques, but we don't have time to stop at the boutiques, we don't have time to shop. I already feel the airport in Rome is gorgeous, beautiful. But if you don't have time, you have to rush from terminal to terminal, and you have to pay attention what is your gate. You don't see much, you know, and that pissed me off. I asked the lady, I said, there is a note there, it's like 1.31. Why at the end you give me the money back and it ends up to be $1.51 for 1 euro? And she said, oh, there is like a little tiny print that says it's a 1% of the top of transaction, depending, like 1% from the amount you pay. And I'm so mad. I pay like another 15 euro, 14.99 just for the transaction, just to exchange my dollars. But anyways, whatever. We went to have what we had like coffee. No, we didn't have coffee, we had San Pellegrino. So we had drinks, and I think I bought a little something, cannoli or something, or croissant, to make me a little happy, to pick me up. And I instantly loved the food at what I'm saying, Rome airport. So try, like, Rome airport is gorgeous, like beautiful, nothing like Miami. So it cheered me up a little bit. Then our Catania flight was a little bit delayed. So my sister kept texting me that she's waiting for us, and poor thing, she's been waiting for us for 5 hours at Catania airport. And she said the port Catania is like very small, don't expect anything. But Catania flight was very nice. It was just 1 hour. The only thing I didn't like in Europe, like when we landed in Rome, they took you on a bus, and it takes so much time. Like, you know, I got, you know, it adds up to your trip. Like in America, you land and your plane just goes to the gate and you walk to the airport and you're right there. And here, oh my gosh, they land somewhere in the fields, and then they bring the bus, and they went for all the people. It's exactly like Moldova. It's like exactly like 20 years ago when I left freaking Moldova. I thought that, you know, they have civilization there, but apparently it's a huge airport. Some airlines and some airplanes do have the direct gate and exit to the airport, but some airlines, they use, like some flights use the bus service, and this bus service was killing me. On the way there, we didn't have our luggage because they offered us to check in our luggage for free. And mistake number two, like I was so scared my luggage will be over 8 kilos because they say, oh, they're so strict. So if you fly in crappy airlines, I will tell you, Ryanair, if you fly cheap budget airlines like Ryanair, whatever, Northey, yes, they maybe check your luggage. ITA Airways don't weigh your luggage. Like, it says there 8 kilos. So I was so paranoid. Before I went on my trip, I took out some of my stuff. I took out my like shoes with a little heel. I took out my perfume, like everything that make my suitcase more than 8 kilo, and still it was 8.5 kilo. So with my whatever GoPro camera, with my microphone, those are heavy things, you know, like those are heavy things. And I'm a vlogger. I want to bring my equipment. So, and they allow you, like what's more, they allow you hand luggage, they allow you to have a personal item, and this personal item has to be 8 kilos together with your carry-on. And I'm like, no way. But then I learned they don't really check, because you know, it's not Northey. You're not paying 200 for a flight. You're freaking paying, you know, like more than 200. It's not a cheapy Ryanair. It's not like Wizard Air or whatever, like those crappy airlines that charge you like arm and leg, and they don't feed you, and they're like checking your freaking weight on your luggage. So ITA was nice. So we didn't have boarding passes, so we were able to check in our luggage. They gave us boarding passes. They were super nice. They didn't have upgrade. I asked for upgrade, but the plane was so full. Usually I can ask for a business class upgrade, and sometimes you can upgrade it for cheaper than buying it in advance. They didn't have any upgrades, and we're like, forget. We had very good seats, like at the very entrance to economy class, so we were fine. On the way there, we were fine, and we didn't drag our carry-ons with us. They went straight to Catania. So at the Rome airport, we kind of roamed around with our backpacks. It was fine. It was great. But I was already kind of tired, you know. So by the time we got to Catania, it was around 3 o'clock. Like the flight got delayed, so it was about 3:30. Yeah, it was about 3:30. We were so excited. We walked. They checked our passport. The guy in the passport control. It was very important. My daughter was traveling to Europe for the first time. Stand up, please. I saw your figure. Hassan, take care of your health. Thank you. I'm pretty healthy now. I know sometimes they do check the size of bag. Yes, weight. Yes, new subscriber. PSIFO. Thank you. I have 9 viewers. So they do check, but you know, ITA was nice. They didn't check, you know. They say 8 kilos, maybe they scare people, but you know, try to be whatever. And you don't want to pack your freaking suitcase and check it in, because you go in for, like, you have to carry it, like on the stairs. We lived in the apartment which was on the 3rd floor. Who wants to carry those big bags? And what you're gonna put there? I guess if you travel and you visit family, you bring lots of souvenirs, you take a big checked-in luggage. But for our flight, we only went for 5 days and traveling light. I kind of like that. And you have a backpack and just the carry-on. I love the dress. Thank you. I'll show you the dress. Elias, it's linen, and I bought it before I went. So it has pockets, it's very light. I love the color, it's like A-line, and it's lined, so it's not see-through. It's very nice and lined dress. Like it has lining underneath. Very good dress. I felt so easy. I could, my body could breathe, and I walked around, and I already washed it after I came back. It's easy to wash. You just don't need to dry it in the dryer because it shrinks. So be careful if you buy linen, just hang it up dry and don't dry it in the dryer. So we came there in Catania. It's so beautiful. I didn't have the I didn't have the window seat, but I could kind of peek that I see a lot of water, and we come into Catania. It's gorgeous. So we came there, we met my sister. It was such a heartfelt meeting. I haven't seen her since last August, but it's better. Like when I went to see my sister last year in August, I haven't seen her for 9 years. So I cried when I saw her, and this time I cried too. She was so cute, and she hasn't seen my daughter in 10 years. So my sister came here when my daughter turned 6, and now my daughter is 16. So, you know, she saw my daughter first, and she gave her a big, huge hug and kiss. And it was so heartfelt and so touching to see my sister is tiny. She's shorter than me, and my daughter is always taller than me now. So it was so heartfelt to see them together hugging and seeing each other for so long. They haven't seen, like, Zoe doesn't remember her. Zoe was 6, and she doesn't remember much of her when she came to visit, but now it was such a heartfelt meeting. So if you haven't seen it, just go and watch my videos about arriving to Taormina, and you'll see everything. Of course, I filmed everything for the history for my vlog. Anyway, so we met, and then we go in. So mistake number three, driving in Sicily. It's crazy. Renting a car, it's crazy. So what I did, I went online, I found this booking, like booking deals or something, and I rented a car. And first I rented from the company that had very poor ratings, like the local Italian company, and it has very poor ratings. And my friend who is Sicilian, she kept telling me they scam people a lot, the cars can be beaten up, and they charge you extra for damages like you didn't do. But anyways, so I looked it up, and it wasn't very reliable rental service. And I say, okay, I'll rent a little better car and a little better service. So I chose Avis, and Avis is worldwide. Avis is very famous. It has good reputation. The prices are not very cheap. Like the first car I rented was very cheap, so it was a little bit like sketchy. All right, but then when I read reviews, the reviews were so bad. So I'm like, no, I'm taking Avis. I'm not taking risk. And then I read Avis, and I read some not very good reviews, but I'm like, I'm taking my chance. So here I am. You make sure when you go to Europe, you make sure, I love the dress. Thank you. You make sure you get the car with auto, whatever, how you call it, transmission, because I cannot drive shift stick. I cannot drive. I learned how to drive it like long time ago in Moldova, and I've never driven the shift stick. So I made sure I got the automatic car. I read all the reviews that the roads are tiny, blah, blah, blah. I go in the mountains, so you have to have a smaller car. Like we drive SUVs here. We like big cars here in States. But the gas is expensive, and the roads are tiny, so people drive like very economical cars, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going, and I booked my car with Avis, and it's not very cheap. Like if you think about it, I paid $350 for 5 days from Catania airport. And I read online that you can take a bus, you can take train to go from Catania airport, but you know, with the suitcases, you're already traveling, and the taxi can cost up to 100 euro. And I'm like, if the taxi costs 100 euro, here I'm saving money on the car. I get the car, and I'm free to go to the next town. I'm free to go to the port if I need to go on a boat ride. So I wanted to have that freedom of renting a car. That was a huge disaster. This was a money scam. It was a money pit. I lost a lot of money and I lost a lot of nerves, and I got such a big stress driving there. Forget it. If you go to Italy, you're gonna use the bus, because then we used taxi. We used local buses, which were super comfortable, super efficient, and so cheap. The bus was like $2.50 per person, and you can get wherever you want. So you can take the bus from the airport for $7.50 per person. And the taxi, check this out, the taxi from Taormina back to Catania airport early in the morning cost us 165 euro. This is insane. What is the freaking price for 50-minute ride? 165 euros. So my point is, if you go into Europe, be prepared to just your money fly, just fly. Here they scam you on every corner with the exchange rate, with the souvenir prices, with the drinks, with the restaurants at the very famous, like street. So I had a budget. I kind of thought I'm gonna spend a certain amount of time, but I spent twice as much. And my sister paid for a lot of things. My sister paid for the food, my sister paid for the restaurant, my sister paid for the transportation. So and again, I still spent a lot of money, but my sister wanted to pay for everything, and that was so nice, because it's like, I'm like, you don't have to. We always argue who's paying, but she wanted to pay, and I appreciated her. She was like almost like my mom, taking care of me like I'm a little girl, and she's paying for me and my daughter. Sport. Honey, sport, Trump. Abhishek Keksi. Hi, looking beautiful. Thank you. Welcome to my live stream. I have 11 viewers. So, mistake number 3, a car. So you go to Avis. Avis is not in the terminal. So you walk with your suitcases. It's so hot. You already been traveled 24 hours. You're tired. You come to Avis, and there is like Avis, budget, and something else in one office, and there is only 2 representatives who taking care of the crowd. You take a ticket. It took us an hour and 10 minutes to wait for the car, like to wait to get the car. And then it took us another 20 minutes to sign the paperwork and go get the car. So it's crazy. Already exhausted. Do you like fruit? Oh, I love fruit. I love all kinds of fruit. So the car rental was a disaster. It was just a disaster. You think it's Avis. You think like, it's going to be up to par, like American standards. You usually go there. It's like 10 representatives, and you get in a car like within like 20 minutes, and you're going. So unless you took limousine in the airport, that was overpriced. Exactly. Life is beautiful. That's what I'm saying. No, it was a minivan. It was a Mercedes minivan. So anyways, check this out. Which fruit do you like? I love peaches. I love cherries. I love apples. I love everything. I love all kinds of fruit. I love strawberries. I love lots of berries. Thank you for your question. Mercedes. Peter Romeo. Mercedes. Check this out. I freaking booked Mercedes Class A because I thought to myself, I'm gonna be in style driving in Europe in this little tiny Mercedes car. Guess what? They tell me I'm booking from, do you like banana? I love Mercedes. So I was so excited. I'm like telling my sister, we're gonna drive Mercedes. We're gonna be comfortable, blah, blah, blah. But it's a small Mercedes. It's like A class or something. So I come there to the counter, and the guy is young, and like I say, buongiorno, I say something like, and he said, I thought you're Italian, you speak great, you have great accent. And I tell him that originally I'm from Moldova. In Moldova we speak some Romanian, and the accent is a little similar. So at first he started to speak to me Italian. He said, oh, you said buongiorno so well that I thought you're Italian. He started to say, no, I'm American, I speak English. So he started to speak in English with me. Britain is more expensive, but it does cost more than $100 for 1 hour drive. Yeah, you're right. Life is beautiful. Yeah, you're right. I know that Britain is more expensive, but Sicily, guess what? It's not as touristy as like Portofino. It's not as touristy as like Amalfi Coast. It's not as touristy as like, I don't know, like Florence. But anyways, I didn't expect the prices to be so steep. So I'm like bitter. You know, I do have money. I planned for the trip, and it's just I'm sharing with you. It's just I'm just bitching, you know. I had amazing vacation. I still have this impression. I close my eyes, I dream about the, you know, shore. I dream about Isola Bella. I dream about this boat ride, blah blah blah. So everything I'm telling you is just for my channel, just to vent, it's just to add a little drama to my channel, blah blah blah, just to have a fun live stream. And it's like kind of mistakes that people might not take when they travel. People might not make the same mistakes I did, because I'm a good driver. I've been driving 19 years in the States. But there I felt helpless, freaking helpless. So they say they don't have Mercedes. They'll give me Volkswagen. I'm like, whatever. Volkswagen seems like a German car. Okay. But at the end, guess what? They're giving me the freaking beaten up Seat Arona. This is not even a car I know. I know Fiat, which is the Italian car, but I don't even know what's the brand name. Seat. S-E-A-T. Seat. I got so mad, but there is no choice. They give you the paperwork. They say you ordered from the third party. You didn't order, like, the mistake number 4. Don't order from a third party, third booking party. Order from freaking Avis website. You know, if you book through the third party vendor, they rip you off. It says there is a small print. It says Mercedes A-Class or similar. I'm like, Seat is not similar. I'm looking at my paperwork. I said, you said Volkswagen. So what a scammer. You know, he's staying there, the Avis. It's a worldwide known freaking rental company. I have a paperwork. I freaking paid for Mercedes. You tell me you're giving me Volkswagen. And it's not even Volkswagen. It's some tiny Spanish crappy car, which called Seat. I got so mad, guys. You know, I don't drive Seat, you know. But anyways, by the time I'm taking this crappy Seat, they give me a list of damages already. Already Seat has damages, and everybody from here tell me, make sure you take videos, you read the reviews. People say later on they send you a bill for the extra damages, blah blah blah. They scam you, like, so make sure you take lots of videos and pictures of the car. So right there there is a missing front light, or like some light cover, or like a little piece of plastic. The front bumper is all scratched up, the back bumper is all scratched up, there is no radio antenna. Some of the damages are on the list, some are not. But at that point, it's so hot outside. It's already 5 o'clock. I've been on the road for 25 hours, and I have another hour to drive to our apartment in Taormina. So I'm so stressed, I'm so tired, and I have to drive. Come to India, darling. Thank you. Unless you put me in the 5-star hotel, I'm not coming to India. No thanks. Yeah, if you put me in a 5-star hotel somewhere where the kings and royalty stay, I'm not coming. Ольга, Ваути, привет. Рассказывай про свои впечатления, как меня там убивала машина эта. So, but I'm like, whatever, I can do it. So we get on the road and we get the navigation, and this car is like, oh, you're stunning. Thank you, KB. Oh my gosh. You make me blush. Anyways, we get on the road because we really want to go like to the destination place, and we've already been waiting in line to get the car, and they just give you the key and they just point out to go to the parking lot, and you walk with your suitcases on the cobblestone parking lot. It's rough, you know. That's why, imagine you had a couple of suitcases. I'm glad we only had one carry-on and little backpacks, but by that time you're on the road for 25 hours. You already stayed in line. There are no AC whatsoever anywhere. So you're already hot, and you're already stinky, and you're already sweating. And I'm like, I want to go home. At that point, I see that beaten up car, Seat. People, Seat, you know, I'm spoiled. What was your experience driving in Italy? Did you find it chaotic? Oh my gosh. Life is beautiful. You're number one asking good questions today. Thank you so much for being on that live stream. It's not chaotic. It's so stressful. I almost had a heart attack. I started to smoke. People, I haven't been smoking in 19 years, but after that drive up to the mountains, I grabbed the cigarette from my sister's arms and I smoked like 3 or 4, you know. Oh my gosh, you should see me. I was ready just to go and like to emergency room because my heart was pumping like that, jumping out of my... So the point is, like, the road is nice from the airport. Like it's some sort of a highway, and people like beep if you're in the wrong lane, so you have to stay on the right lane if you're going like 60 kilometers. But I grew up with kilometers, so I know what is kilometers versus miles. If you live in the States and you don't know miles versus kilometers, you'll be confused at first. But I wasn't confused, because most of the part, it was 70 kilometers, it was 100 kilometers per hour, so you know, you're okay with that. So it's pretty flat from Catania to the bottom of the hill. Taormina, she called me the N-word earlier. Bushim Entertainment, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you love Turkey? Turkey's nice. I've never been to Turkey, but it's gorgeous there with the sea and everything. Turkey is beautiful country, beautiful nature, good food. She called me the N-word. I didn't. Rudra Murthy, love you so much. Love you so much too, Rudra. Thank you for stopping by. So it's a disaster. And I'm not like a perfect driver, but I'm okay driver. I'm experienced driver. I only had a big car accident once in 19 years. So I'm like, I can do it. And I even looked up videos when people driving the highway, and the highway was decent. If you don't want to drive too fast, you just drive in the right lane and people pass you. And Italians are not patient. They honk, they beep, they show you fingers, but who cares? I'm like, I'm a tourist, I'm exhausted, they gave me a crappy car, I just need to get there, I'll be okay. And I was okay till the point I had a friend who rented a car for 2 days but returned it back the same day, and driving in Italy felt with immediate intimidating for him. Exactly. When I park my car, I smoked a cigarette, I say I'm not touching that car, and the day before I could have returned it next day, but I didn't think about it. I was so stressed, I didn't know what to do. And the third day it occurred to me that I could return it in this little town of Taormina, so I did return it on the fourth day, the day before I was supposed to return it at the airport. Hi, how can I help you? You going to bed? I love you. Let me give you a good night. Okay. About my adventures in Italy, I'm excited. I have a lot of viewers, 15 viewers. Oh, I have 12 viewers. Thank you. Sorry, I had to say. So I should have thought about it, because they would return my money partially. But because I didn't think about returning it right away, we just parked it at the apartment. And like 3 days later, it occurred to me that I could return it. So I called the airport and they say, yeah, you could return it at Taormina, but they're going to charge you a fee because you're not returning at the place. And our flight was super early. Our flight was at 7. So we had to be at the airport like around 5 or 6. And I was freaking out that because I did this, you know, like I did the snake ride up on the hill, and I was so stressed because there was a big car backing up on me. Like the car didn't make it into on the serpentine road, you know, like you literally on the hill, you turn 180 degree to go up, and your car literally stands like that. I'm not used to that. Florida is so flat. I've never been driving. Like I've been driven in Arizona and took a life out of me. I've been driven in Arizona for 2 hours, and it took like 10 years of my life. But anyways, Italy, Taormina was 100 times worse. Like the streets were that narrow. There were big buses. There were little scooters. There were like Vespas. There were like cars parking on the road. So on the bottom of the hill, it wasn't that bad. And even with that traffic, people are honking. I don't know where to go. You have to stop, and I can't move because, you know, I'm scared somebody comes out of the corner. So it was a nightmare, but not the worst nightmare was going up the hill. Because the car, like somebody rented an SUV and he didn't make it. He didn't quite make it, the 180 turn. And the guy started to back up at us. And I was so scared. My car was standing literally almost like that, like maybe like that. And my sister said, you have to put it in reverse. You have to go like reverse because he doesn't have room to back up. And I'm like, he's coming at us. And I'm like losing it. And she said, put it in reverse. And I'm like, if I'm putting my car in reverse, I was so scared, I'm literally going backwards, you know. So I panicked and I cried and I screamed and I yelled. I said so many bad words that my daughter started to text my husband that I'm losing it. Like she's like, I'm done. And my daughter is just like, Mom, please come down, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm breathing. So that guy was able to back down and make this like shorter like curve, because he was like way too like in the wrong lane, and he couldn't make it with the big car. So my sister said, keep right, don't go too far left. And like we made it right after him. But the more we went up, the steeper the curve is, like the more, and it's almost like 45 like angle or something. And I'm freaking out, and I'm sweating, I'm like hyperventilating, and I'm crying, and I'm like a mess. And my sister's like, I've never seen you like that. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm like a mess, I'm hysterical. I was hormonal because I had my PMS, I had my period, you know, like what a lucky day to have your period starting on the plane. So I was a hot mess. So I'm like, no, I'm parking the car. And we got there, and like, your destination on the left. And it's a little tiny pocket you have to turn. It's a little garage. And I'm like, go into like that little tiny pocket. I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere else. So the guy, he came, who got our apartment key, he came on the motorcycle, and he said, don't worry, I'll park you. And I'm freaking standing there smoking a cigarette and crying, bawling. And I look down at that road, and I'm like, I can't imagine I came from down there up to here. And there is still a little bit of the road up to the town. And we went later to town to return the car. So that was a disaster, because they made me pay a fee. They didn't give me a nice car. First of all, the car was beaten up. So on the way, when you return to Taormina, they don't have a parking. So when you come to the office in the city, there is no parking. You can't really park. So we parked around the corner. Some random lady said she's with Avis. She took away our car. I was freaking out. She's, you know, it was like some kind of gypsy lady, because she didn't have a badge. She didn't have ID. She said, that's our car. That's Avis' car. I'm taking it to the parking lot. You're not allowed to park here. I'm like, dude, I'm going to the office to return to see if my paperwork is right. And she doesn't even look at the scratches. I'm trying to show her my contract that the scratches were there. And I'm trying to, she said, I don't care. Just go. And she was like so mad at me. She said, I don't care. I just call my coworker. You just go in the office and deal with the paperwork. I'm like, okay. So no customer service whatsoever, but I'm glad I returned it, because I was able to arrange them. Well, I paid twice. So I paid for the car. They didn't return me. Guess what? They returned me $40, right? For the day like of rental, which is like $350 divide, whatever, 350 divide by 5, it's 70, right? So it's $70. Okay, let's say it's 50 euro, whatever. But they give me only 45. They say, I don't know. They said, you ordered through the third party. Our price for the day is different. And the guy literally, the customer service, like he literally threw my paperwork, and he said, if you don't understand, you have to go back to Catania and return the car there. And at that point I was crying, because I'm like, dude, I'm returning the car. I'm just showing you the damages. Nobody took the car. Nobody looked at it. I don't want you to send me the bill later. Here's my video. You don't even want to acknowledge that I took a video, blah, blah, blah. And I started to cry. You should have asked your sister to drive. Oh my gosh, life is beautiful. No, she said, classic Italian. He screamed at me. He said, go back to Catania. And I'm like, no, I'm not going down the hill in that car. I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna pay you extra 100 euros. He said 100 euros extra. I'm like, at this point I'm crying. And he said, привет, James, WT222, welcome to my live stream. Привет, James, ты говоришь по-русски? Спасибо, что зашел. So at this point I'm crying, and he sees me crying, and there were some Australians renting a car. I'm like telling them, yeah, I'm a hot mess, I know. And then my sister gave him a tip. My sister gave him 10 freaking euros. I'm like, for what? Because he cut our bill. He said, okay, not 99. So he looks at the system and he tells me, because you rented from a third party, the price for a day is different. You know, like third party make money on me. So instead of returning me 70, they're returning me 40, whatever, 40. Anyways, you're so beautiful and gorgeous. Thank you, Manuel. It's nice of you to say that. So there, I'm like, whatever, return me 40. But the fee is 105. Like the fee, because I return it from a different like location. I return my car in a different location. Russian class in Tucson. Sorry, I'm rusting. No, you're good, James. Привет. You said it perfectly. So this, tell me, 105, right there, 105 euro. It's like 105. It's not a big deal, but you know, some people have to work a month for 105. You know, in the country I'm from Moldova, I've been a nanny for the whole month, and I made $100 a month back in the day, right? So they charged me 105 just returning car in the random location. But I'm like, forget it. I wanted to go to Europe. I'm gonna splurge. But at this point, I'm crying because the guy was mad at me. You're a true work of art, a true goddess. Yeah, you have a nice dorma. Dorma. Yeah, it's my. I don't know, what did you mean, dorma? Dorma, like my bathroom. It's my beautiful marble Italian bathroom. Anyways, Greek. This is from Greece. Marble from Greece. You have a nice dorma. Anyways, so I'm freaking out, and the guy got like Rosario. His name was Rosario, like Rosario Agro, like from Italians. Like we had the movie back in the day, Rosario Agro. Nobody mess up with Rosario Agro. Dorma like house. Yeah, my house is beautiful. Thank you. I love my house. So at this point, he says, don't worry. I'll figure something out. So he figures something out. Instead of 99, he charges me 47 euros. He said, okay, like, a difference, he explains to me, difference from 105 minus 40. I say, it's still 60. Where 99 comes from? He said, it's 22% tax. I like Moldova. Would love to get to know you better. Do you have a Facebook or Instagram? Emmanuel Negrand. Yeah, I have a Facebook and Instagram. You're flawless. Come on, stop with the compliments. You make me blush. I put the makeup. I already put the blush, so I don't need extra blush. But anyways, I'm freaking out, and the guy said, okay, I cut you a bill. Like, he said 99. I say, I still don't get it. 105 minus 40, whatever you give me back, 105, it makes $60 difference. Why are you, like 60 euros? Why are you charging me 99? He said, you don't understand. It's an extra tax, 22%, blah, blah, blah. So he's looking at the paper, and then he said, you ordered from a third world party, so the system gives me that number. But when I started to cry, he said, okay, I'll try to figure something out. So he charges me 47 euros instead of 99 euros. So my sister gives him 10. He said, oh, people need to leave. He spent so much time with you, blah, blah, blah. People want to buy coffee or lunch. And she gives him 10. And she gives him 10. I'm like, you crazy. Don't give a tip when a person made you cry, you know. But at this point, I don't care. She says, like, we gave the car back. And I asked him, you have to, he said, permiso. I say, you have to promise me. If I see an extra bill about the scratches, I come after you. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm Russian. I have connections. At this point, I'm so like hyped up. I say, I have connections. I'm coming after you, and I'm coming after extra charges just because I'm signing this bill now. Paying you 47, that's the last money you charge me. He said, yes. So I'm like, whatever. So that was the crazy mistake. Number 4, don't rent a car. There is no parking. Everything is walking distance. You're going to walk a lot up and down the hill. There is no parking spaces. When you go to this historical sites, you can't find the parking. There are no parking lots unless it's like big underground parking, and you still have to walk and find that parking like within those like roads, and it's just a nightmare. So if you can, just use the public transportation, use the taxi. The only like another place we went, the next little town, Jardin Naxos, we went to the port. So we went down the hill for 6-kilometer drive. They charge us 40 euros for the taxi. Isn't it insane? Isn't it a rip-off? And that's through the Uber app. You know, Uber, it doesn't have an Uber. The Uber would say 75, but then they say taxi is 250 plus meter. There is no meter in the car. There is no meter, and 250 is like initial fee. You get in the car, you have no clue how much they're going to charge you unless you get out of the car, and Uber shows you that for 6 kilometers down the hill, they charge you 40 freaking euro. It's a nightmare. It's a rip-off. Italy is a rip-off. You need to bring at least, you know, the guy who was renting a car from Australia, check this out. He said he brought $10,000. When he rented the car, the deposit they keep on your card supposed to be $700 because he got a fancy car. But they charged him $3,000 as a deposit. and they hold this money that he ran out of his 10,000, and he was standing in this office. He was asking them to take off this hold because the deposit was supposed to be only 800, but they charged him 300 for the deposit. So he ran out of money, and he said he had a $10,000 for a week, and he ran out of money, and he said my funds are frozen just because of this car rental service. What company did you use for car renting? Avis. And that was freaking Avis. And you can't write the review because, I booked through the third party, like booking.com, like with the discounted prices. But you can write the review. I wrote the review on that website because they sent me like a link to write the review, and I wrote a terrible review. I said Avis wasn't up to the standards we have here. Avis sucked, and I believe like it's not Avis who sucked. It's not the corporate that sucked. It's just that's the local customer service that sucks. That just they don't have the cars. They say Mercedes, but it's not a Mercedes. It's a Seat. So I was very pissed, but it's okay. After we returned the car, we're like, whatever. So after we ordered and we asked the guy who rented us an apartment, check this out. He was gorgeous. He came in his like motorcycle, and he was so nice showing us the apartment. And as soon as we got the apartment, life became bright again. I'm like, forget about this drive. I see that view on the terrace, and I'm like, that drive, that craziness, that cigarette was worth it. I'm like, yes, I'm not going anywhere. If for 4 days I have to sit on that terrace and just drink wine, I would do it in a heartbeat just to have a vacation with the view. I would do that. Okay, another 20 minutes and I'll let you go. So I've been here an hour. Oh my gosh, my kids are going to bed. So I'm still recovering from the jet lag. Like at 6 o'clock during the day, I'm like starting to fall asleep, but I'm trying to, every day to add an hour. So yesterday I went to bed at 8. Today I'm going to go to bed at 9. So I'll go back to my schedule because I still wake up at 4:30 and I can't sleep, and then I'm tired through the day. What company? Summer Ballard, welcome. Hi, please say Summer. Summer, welcome to my live stream. So anyways, when they see the view, when they see the apartment, here comes another surprise. Alessio is a gorgeous guy. Like my sister, she's in her early 60s, and my 16-year-old, they're like, oh wow, he was such a handsome Italian. We're like, oh wow. So we forget about all these adventures with the climbing up the hill and like with my driving skills, because we see that view and it's a sunset. The sea view is gorgeous. It's already pink colors above the sea. There is a view of the Mount Etna, and it has like a little smoke on the top of Etna. Like it's a real volcano. It's the biggest volcano in Europe, active volcano. So you sit there and you're already like, that was worth of 25 or 26 hours traveling. That was worth, like the view, the apartment was worth every penny. And it was so cozy. It was a lot of room. I didn't realize the Italians, like they say, oh, all the apartments might be tiny and small, and toilets are like, bathrooms are small. Everything was top notch. 3 big bedrooms, huge, gorgeous kitchen equipped with everything you wish for. AC in every room. I wanted to make sure I have my AC, but we used it wisely. We only used it when we came home for a couple of hours just to make every room a little, and we switched out because the electricity is very expensive. So we wanted to be humble, and we didn't want to make people to pay a huge bill after we're there. So, and Alessio tells us, oh, I forgot to tell you, there is another city tax you have to pay cash. And we're like, oh my gosh, we just got here and people are just ripping us off already. They didn't give us our Mercedes, and now he wants us to pay some city tax. And we're like, okay, sure. How much is the city tax? And like, there was nothing in the Airbnb paperwork, or maybe I missed something. I didn't get any email about city tax, but he says it's 3 euros per person per day. So it's like 5 days, 15 per person, multiplied by 3. Here it goes, another 45 euro. And we're like, okay. My sister gives him 50, and he said, you were kind to us, so keep another 5, so my sister gives him just 50, and he said, okay, city tax is city tax, we can't do much. But we kind of think he kind of ripped us off. We kind of think it was a scam, because the paperwork in Airbnb didn't say anything. But I'm still gonna give him the best review. He was very kind. the beautiful apartment. We didn't have enough towels, and we texted him and he arranged towels for us, and we asked him questions about restaurants. I still gonna give him the best reviews for the service for the apartment, because the apartment was like to die for. And as soon as I saw the view, as soon as we settled, we picked the rooms, I was like, yes, now I like my Italian vacation. It was worth every penny. It was worth every, you know, like every annoying things I went through. It was worth all my nerves and drama, and it's okay. I'm a drama. Yeah, I'm 48. I want to be comfortable. I want the value for my money. I'm spoiled American. Call me ungrateful, call me spoiled American, call me like a brat, call me a bitch. That's okay. That's how I am. I'm at that age, and I worked hard all my life. I sacrificed. I was humble. I saved money. I lived decent. I lived to my means. I didn't spend a lot before, so now I deserve to treat myself, and now I deserve to splurge, and now I deserve for little like luxury and comforts. What a crazy experience. That's probably Sicily. Yeah, but it's okay. From now on, like starting to see the views, trying the food, going to see ancient plains, going to this like Corso Umberto, going shopping. Like every place, every corner brought me so much joy, my like joy inside, you know. I was like, it's so gorgeous, it's so beautiful, it's so authentic. You should understand, states are very beautiful. Every state is unique. You go to Arizona, you go to California, you go to Florida. Every state has very unique nature, very unique, you know, beautiful national whatever forests or gardens. Alaska was gorgeous, and I've been to places. Bahamas is okay, you know, like Mexico is okay. Honduras is like, well, okay, you know, but you know, when you go to Europe, it's ancient, it's history, it's authentic. It's centuries of history and culture, and it's different. America is 250 years old, or whatever, 76? Yeah, almost 250. I was born 76, and America was born 76, 2 centuries before. But Europe is very unique. Everything built in the States was inspired by Europeans, you know, like everything is fake here. You go to Portofino Bay Hotel, it's inspired by Portofino. It looks fake. The buildings are fake, and there everything authentic. And this authenticity, this history, those churches, this beautiful plaza, piazza, or whatever, piazza, like a plaza, we call it square, with the views and those rocks and mountains and those buildings, like those apartments and those houses on the rocks, is gorgeous. The first night we went, like, there are no walkways, so be careful if you live like close to the road. There are no walkways, so you have to walk on the road where the cars go, and it's like very scary, but you make it alive. So we walked up to the city center, and we walked those narrow streets, and every street, every corner is a picturesque. It's so gorgeous. It's like those how you call them? Я уже забыла, как эти растения называются. Like fuchsia, big fuchsia flowers. Those are fuchsia bushes, like big pink flowers. The hanging flowers on the bushes. They're everywhere. Боже, я забыла, вспомню, скажу, I forgot the name of it. We have them in Florida, but they like so beautiful there. Why didn't you drive? You had a car. Cheeky monkey. No, I couldn't drive. Up to the town because there is no parking. There are like streets like narrow like that. People park, like whoever lived there, like locals park there. There is no parking. And like you're driving, and out of the corner it's like two-way drive, and somebody beep into you to wait, and the car is passing, and there are like Vespas and, you know, cyclists everywhere. It's a nightmare. Even walking is a nightmare there. But we managed. As soon as we went to this beautiful square with the view of the sea and everything, it's a tiny town. Like everything in the States, you should understand. I haven't been to Europe in a long time. So for me, America is space. Everything is space, huge, big. For this car is like five street road, or like five lane road, like five-way highway, five lanes each. And here in town, everything's so tiny and cozy, and you feel like you're in a little village. Everything, the vibe, and all these houses built like so close to each other, and all this little, you know, see-through like stairs between the houses. It was so different to me, and this difference for my brain, it was a lot to process, and it made me like, wow, every little corner I wanted to take a video, every little corner I want to stop to admire, every little corner I had like a wow effect. So I was like, my daughter's like, Mom, you crazy, you crazy. I'm like, yeah, because I've never seen anything beautiful like that. Like in so many years, I was so wrapped up to establish the life here in States. We didn't take luxury vacation. We barely take, well, we go on a cruise, you know. It's convenient. We don't have enough time to go on vacation. We have like 12 days, you know, vacation. Americans work hard. We don't have months of vacation. So then your kids are growing, then you have summers, then you have commitments, you know, my kids are in sports, and you just can't go. You can't just get up and go. So this time I was able just to go and enjoy. That's why I lived every moment. I gave myself time to admire. I gave myself to have this wow effect. Just to stop there, get my jaw dropped, and just to wow. And then I filmed a lot, of course, because I'm a vlogger. I wanted to film. I brought my GoPro. I filmed with my GoPro. And then we decided to do one activity per day. And that worked out great because it's very hot, blazing hot to walk around. So number one, good shoes. Number two, good clothes, decent clothes. Don't try to wear too much tight clothes, or like even like don't try to wear like tight clothes or jeans or something. You're gonna get cooked, you know. So people dress up so beautiful, linen, cotton. If you wear anything polyester, you're gonna smell. So don't do that. Don't wear anything polyester. It's like, ugh, you're gonna smell bad. So I knew that because, you know, we live in very hot climate here, and I don't wear anything polyester. I wear natural fabrics, and make sure you have comfortable shoes. There is absolutely no way you're walking a lot on cobblestone and your feet go up and down, steep the heels. So I had my Nikes. I bought another pair of Nikes, and my daughter wore them because they were a little tight on me. So I wore my, like, if you don't buy new shoes, buy the broken in shoes, because you're going to be miserable walking there. What level is your gymnast daughter in? Preppy Bracelets by Sophia. Welcome to my live stream. My daughter is level 6 now. So shoes, and then you have to have a hat. And let me tell you a quick story about my hat. Let me bring my hat. Just bear with me for a second. Good stories. Hi Stella, I'm doing my live stream. I'm almost done. Maybe another 15 minutes. Are you going to bed soon? Hopefully before 10. Okay. Sounds like a plan. I'll be done soon. I'll tuck you in. So this is a story about my Italian hat. This is a story. So before I go there, my friend asks me, she said, Kate, do you own a hat? Like everybody wear a hat there, straw hat or whatever. I'm like, maybe she wants to give me her Gucci hat, because she has a beautiful Gucci hat. She travels a lot and she knows all about countries and where she goes. And she said, yeah, you definitely need a hat. In Italy, it's blazing hot. The sun is hot. You need to cover your face, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, no, I don't really have a hat, but I'll buy one there. Like I'll splurge and buy a hat. But look at this hat. This is my Italian hat. Look how cute and pretty is this. White. Белая панамка с такими, видишь, like navy stripes. It's white, and it has a little, hold on, has a little badge here. It is made in Italy. But look the story of this hat. So I go to Portofino Bay here at Universal Studios Orlando Resorts, and these are resorts, Universal, where their theme parks is, with Harry Potter, blah blah blah. So they have this fancy hotel. It's called Portofino Bay, fancy hotel. A couple of times we go with my husband for his conference. Couple of times we stay with kids there. A couple of times we stay with friends when they're visiting. And this is Portofino Bay. It's a fake Italy, fake Portofino Bay, fake, like the hotel made in a fake, whatever, scenery like Italy. So I go there and I need the hat. And I go in the store and I say, is this hat, is it made in Italy? Or maybe it's made in China, but I asked the lady. Panama, yeah, Panama Jack. Yeah, it's Italia. No, it's not Italia. I thought it says Italia. Bummer. But anyways, so I was in fake Portofino. That was probably like 3 years ago. And I look at that hat and it looks so beautiful. I'm like, I put the hat on. I'm like, I'm buying it. It was a $35 hat. Like everything is expensive at Universal. $35 or $40 hat. I'm like, that's a beautiful hat. I'm buying that hat. And I keep that and I take pictures. I go to golf, I go to the ocean, and I always put that hat on, and I'm like, I'm dreaming that one day I'm gonna wear this. I bought it in a fake Italy, but I'm telling myself, one day I'm gonna wear this hat to the real Italy, not the fake Italy like Orlando, you know, not like Universal Studios, not the fake Italy like in America. So someday I'm gonna dream about wearing my hat to the real Italy. So when I pack, I'm like, it's light, you can fold it. You know, the straw hat, if you want to buy, you can buy straw hat, but you can't really fold it in a suitcase. This one, you can wash it. You can wash it every day, dries fast. Look, like brand new hat, you know. So I'm taking it to Italy and my dream come true. It's very light, it's cotton, it's white, it's stylish. So, you know, the dreams come true. I bought this hat in fake Italy. I said, one day I'm taking my hat for a walk in the real Italy, and it happened. Ta-da! And it makes good pictures. It wasn't quite, you know, shaped up on some pictures. It was messed up a little more, but look. Isn't it looking cute with any outfit? It's so classy. So I didn't need to spend on the hat. You like it? That's icy soiler. So the hat, I bought a little, I told you I bought a little tiny souvenir. I bought a little Christian Dior. Instead of fancy expensive hat, I bought a Christian Dior scarf. And today, when I went back to work, to the office, I wore my white dress with this Christian Dior little scarf, and I felt so good. I'm like, at least I'm compensating. Going back to the office, I'm going to feel like stylish, like Italian, remembering my vacation. How old is your daughter? My daughter is 11. She's turning 12 in August. Thank you for the question. Anyways, that's it. So from now on, it's going to be the best impressions about the beach, about the boat ride the next day, about Felicità, the song Felicità, na 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 na. You know, you grew up with that song, Tutukutunya. After that, it was like a dream. It was like I felt all 4 days, like we arrived on Sunday and we left on Friday. So it's like 4 full days. All full 4 days, I felt like I'm in a movie. I literally felt like I'm in a movie myself. Like I was admiring all the experiences. I was admiring the boat ride. I was admiring swimming in the Ionic Sea. I was admiring the beach. Again, there were little annoying things like little annoying things like when you rent a chair on the beach, you ask them to be put up front and they say, no, that's for VIP, you know, and then you know, they give you they still have empty chairs up front, but they don't rent them for you, you know, for the same price. So I don't want to pay more. Like it's 3 people right there. You pay $75 to go on the beach just for chairs and umbrellas. My daughter wanted to get a tent, so she didn't quite get an umbrella because it was extra. So she said she's going to have a tan, and if she's too hot, she's going to go on an umbrella while we're swimming or something. So we only had 2 umbrellas and 3 chairs. and she's been enjoying the sun because she wanted to get suntan. But for an extra umbrella, they want another 20 euros. You know, it's a rip-off in every corner, but who cares? Like, my sister bought me ice cream, my sister bought us chairs, my sister bought me drinks, juices. So boat ride was amazing. So the boat ride I ordered from TripAdvisor. It's like Viator, like it's like both. I have TripAdvisor account, so I ordered it there. I read the reviews. I wanted a particular boat that looked like more like a brown boat, not the white boat. Like I wanted like a fancy boat. So I paid from States. I paid about $111 for 3 of us on a boat. And this was the best $111 spent, because the boat ride for 2 hours, they would take you to see Taormina from the bottom, like from the sea. And they take you from Giardini Naxos, a little Greek town next to Taormina, like the port town. And they take you on the boat ride for 2 hours. They drop you. They show you the Sola Bella, they show you the grottos. It was amazing. So we went on a boat ride on Monday, and I felt like in a movie. And there was an Italian family, and it was a Russian-speaking family from Germany. It was only 9 people plus captain on a boat, but it was the best party ever. And we got to drink some Prosecco, and we got to swim on the Ionic Sea when he brought us close to Mazzaro Beach. So that's how we learned about the beach. And the next day we went to the beach ourselves. So what I recommend, like good shoes, good clothes, hat, and lots of water. You drink lots of water because you get dehydrated. And sunscreen. Oh my gosh, I bought the sunscreen for $44. It's like a fancy 50 SPF with a little bit of foundation. And even with this 50 sunscreen, I got some suntan. I got sun-kissed, you know. I can feel my, you know, parts of my face are darker now. And after being on the beach, after even wearing the hat, even wearing the sunscreen and reapplying, I still got sunburn. So the sun is brutal. Sorry. So the sun is brutal. So make sure you buy, like we bought sunscreen because we only could bring like little sunscreens with us, but we bought a spray sunscreen to cover up our bodies when we were on the beach, when we were on the boat, and we still got, you know, sunburned. So be careful with the sun. The sun is brutal, but it's you know, it's to die for. So the boat ride was like in a movie, and the company and these young people, they had 2 daughters with them. The family Italians, they were so cute, and they loved the song because that's how they grew up with Otto Cutugno and Felicità, and they were impressed that we knew this song. And this couple from Germany, they were about my sister's age, like a little older than I am, and they were such nice people. They've been staying there a little longer, like telling us about other places to visit, sharing their experiences, and they showed us the bus because we paid $40 to get to the boat, and we only drove like 6 kilometers, which is like 4 miles. And we paid 40, and they said, no, you can take a bus. So on the bus, we paid €8 for 3 of us, and the bus took us back to town from the bottom of this port, Giardini Naxos. We walked a little bit, so you need to have like the internet there. We bought international plan. I ran out because I was streaming and was uploading some videos, so I ran out. We paid $35 per phone for 10 days, but it was decent. But I ran out, so my husband paid another $35. So I paid $70 for the internet, but it was the best deal to have internet, to have calls, like unlimited internet. And when you need to walk, you have like your application, your Google Maps, and you can walk using Google Maps. It tells you where to go. You find places, you find supermarket, you find restaurants, you find places you go to visit, walking distance. And of course the bus stop, you can find the bus stop. So these people who we met on the boat, they showed us the closest bus stop to Giardini Naxos, close to the hotel they're staying. So we could take the bus back to Taormina, and the bus works great. Buses has air conditioning, a lot of tourists are on the bus is comfortable. It stops in the main, like big things, the main hotels. So I highly recommend, if you go into Taormina, a little town from White Lotus season 2 series, forget about renting a car, because you know, like the bus service. And Funivia, it's a cable car, it only takes 5 minutes from the town to get down to the beaches, so it's very convenient. And Funivia, which is the cable car, costs you $10 for two-way ride, so it's very convenient. So in Taormina, if you're going to visit this little town in Sicily, on east coast of Sicily, forget about renting a car. Just, you know, you'll be fine walking, and you'll be fine with the local buses. And whatever you want to do from the airport, you can use taxi, you can come by the bus, which is very cheap, and you can come by the train too, but the train comes to Giardini Naxos station, so you have to get a bus to the center of Taormina. Depending where you live, you might need to walk to your hotel or the apartment you stay. So that's it. Thank you for being with me, and that's the first part of my impressions, my adventures in Italy. I'll probably gonna tell you a few little dramatic, like annoying things later, but I was so, like, from now on, because I was so happy with every activity we did every day, and the views are gorgeous. Please watch my videos. I'm still editing some of my videos. Please watch my shorts just to get an idea what I'm talking about, how gorgeous is Sicily. And my jaw just dropped, and I tried to film some of the footage. I put an effort. I kind of, like, you know, my sister was a little, like, sometimes she said, oh, you always go in with your camera, just put the camera down and relax. But that's a part of who I am. That's my hobby, and that's how I see world, you know. Now I see it through trying to get some footage for my viewers and to share it with the world, to share my impressions, to share my whatever camera skills and my, you know, my perspective and how I react, and I'm in the moment. And when you're gonna watch my videos, you're gonna hear me screaming and from joy, and screaming from impressions, from excitement, from whatever, happiness, and just being with my daughter and my sister. It was such a good party, 3 of us, and we took lots of pictures, and we ate gelato, we ate amazing food, we went to the local supermarket. We were all, like, Zoe was the calmest of all us. Me and my sister were crazy. We always, like, arguing about who's gonna pay and every little thing, where to go, pulling and pushing each other. My sister smokes like crazy, so she stops in every corner to smoke, and it was like, oh my gosh. But we had a blast. We've been shopping. My sister got me, like, something, and I got her something, and we, like, getting souvenirs. She buys me souvenirs, I buy her something, I want to give her something too, and she doesn't want me to spend money because I already spent my, well, it was like, it was a family. It's like we pretty much were like crazy Italians. Like being like da, 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 you know, like being loud and being crazy. But we had a blast. We had a blast. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being with this live stream. My daughter is going to bed, so I need to tuck her in. My kids are like very self-sufficient, you know. They know when they need to go to bed. I don't need to tell them not to stay late. And I'm getting tired because every day I add an hour because of the jet lag. So yesterday I went to bed at 8, and today I'm trying to go to bed at 9, but it's already 10 past 9. So maybe I'll go in the next 15 minutes just because I want to be rested for the rest of the work week. When I came back to work yesterday, I received a very, very sad news. But, you know, I'm glad I received it after vacation, because it would ruin my vacation. I would not stop thinking about this news. But anyways, I'll tell you later. So I heard the news after I came back from vacation, so I'm trying to hold up. I'm trying to hold up and hope for the better. Okay, thank you for being with me. I love you all. Please watch my videos and shorts. Please support my channel. And I love you all. Thank you for stopping by. You're my devoted viewers, and I'm here for you. I'm sharing all my talents, and I'm sharing all my perfections and imperfections with you. And I am who I am, and I hope you like I hope you like my content. Stay tuned, stay around. Love you all. Hope you're okay. Sorry for the bad news. Cheeky monkey. Well, it's life. It's life. It's life. You don't expect things to happen, but things happen, and then you kind of like deal with that, and you hope for the better. Bye. Love you all. Thank you for being with me this live stream. Love you. Bye. Kate B. Like and subscribe.